Welcome to World Knowledge Channel. Excellencies everybody. Today, we share about how to learn quickly, remember long, and not forget what we have learned. So let's follow along through the video. Do you sometimes feel helpless with your not very good memory? Every time your juniors ask you about math or chemistry, you feel excited and want to express yourself a little. But when you look at the problem, you realize that you don't remember a single word in your head. This problem keeps making you wonder. Never know what to do. Even though we learn a lot from compulsory subjects in school to 3 or 4 extra subjects outside, after only about 1 month, all of our knowledge has disappeared. And the good news is that if we know how to train our brain, we have the ability to put any information we want into our long-term memory. Here is the secret for you. First, if you want to remember well, you need to take notes. You need to prepare a small notebook and a pen to put on your desk. When you suddenly think of some knowledge that needs to be remembered or revised, immediately write it down. When you take notes, you remember once. With this method, the memory efficiency achieved will be much greater. 2. You need to actively practice more. Why do you never forget riding a bicycle? Cycling requires muscles. Practice while studying to create a feeling of excitement. Study chemistry and physics, do your own experiments. To learn geography and biology, draw diagrams and anatomical drawings yourself. Combined activities will improve memory efficiency. As long as you are positive and independent, you will find yourself remembering the people around you better. 3. When you have faith in yourself. You need to be determined to remember and have faith in yourself. Always remind yourself, I can completely remember that content accurately. Faith is the driving force that motivates you to remember well. 4. You should repeat it many times. We often remember the names of our relatives and never forget them. We can accurately name objects we use every day, precisely because these words are repeated over and over again. Why is learning a mother tongue easier than a foreign language? The key point is that we use our mother tongue every day, but foreign languages are rarely used, so they are difficult to remember and do not form natural reflexes. Some people go abroad to live and always have to use foreign languages, so they quickly become fluent. Memory that is repeated over and over again is called muscle memory. Practicing muscle memory regularly will help you have a good memory and form natural reflexes to memorized problems. Muscle memory is the best secret to learning a foreign language. 5. Understand the content to remember. You will remember well things that you understand clearly. If you read many times and do not understand a certain content, use forced memorization, that is, just memorize the content and then slowly learn what you remember. You can ask friends, teachers to explain, or you can search other documents until you understand the knowledge. Don't be quick to doubt this method, practice and feel the effectiveness. 6. Turn important information into a memorable story. Need to remember names, locations or any other useful information. If you just memorize it, you will probably forget it easily after a period of time without touching it. Instead, try turning that boring information into an interesting story. That will cause them to engrave themselves into long-term memory in a natural way. For example, when learning English, you need to remember 3 words: John, car and elephant. Using all 3 of the words above to make sentences or create stories will help you never forget them. For example, instead of driving his car, John rode an elephant. John tried hopelessly to fit an elephant into his car. Think of strange situations and stories that specifically contain the words, phrases, and information you're trying to remember. Since stories are often easier to remember, they will naturally stick in your memories and ready for you to use when needed. This method is also great creating a feeling of lightness and less pressure for you. 7. Remember by using association. You will remember better by using association. For example, the blue sky with airplanes, the flower garden with bees and butterflies, the moon with a starry night sky. Thinking of foxes can think of cunning. Thinking of iron and steel can associate with resilience and strength. Remember that the more vivid and impressive the association, the better you will remember. The more times you repeat it, the deeper the impression becomes, helping to form natural reflexes. The closer the time association, the easier it is to remember. There are many ways to remember. As long as you want to remember, believe that you will remember and use associations creatively, you will definitely remember well. 8. You need to understand the problem deeply. A reality today is that sometimes our understanding of the lessons is quite superficial and fragmentary. Because the truth is that sometimes teachers lecture enthusiastically on the podium and those of us below sometimes don't even understand what they are saying. And we feel that we don't need to understand it very well. As long as we can do the exercises, memorize the theory and get high scores, that's great. But that is the main reason why knowledge kicks us so quickly. Because it's very difficult for our brains to process data that we don't even understand. So first, to remember a huge amount of knowledge, we must understand it first. Like usually when I finish reciting the physics theory outline, about a week later my head no longer has any words in it. Because when I study, I only remember the words, but I don't understand the meaning inside. So we need to reflect. We need to understand what the core problem is. We are not all so smart that we immediately understand new theories or concepts. And that doesn't prove you're bad, that you're not suited to that subject, or that you don't have talent. Studying is like a love affair. To have good results, we must understand the other person, and to understand, we need time to explore, learn and contemplate. So every time the teacher lectures you and you don't understand it, instead of giving up that subject, go home and quietly contemplate these new formulas or concepts. This reflection process includes only 2 very simple steps. The first step is to pay attention to the parts of knowledge that you still do not understand very well. In this step, you should mark the parts of knowledge that you still understand very well or have not yet absorbed. You can ask teachers and friends about these parts that you have trouble with. The second step is to review the teacher's notes and corrections to reflect on that formula or that type of exercise. If you still can't figure it out, don't forget to search for the answer on Google. And this meditation is beneficial in that you can meditate everywhere. For example, while taking a shower, waiting for the bus, or brushing your teeth. So keep using your imagination as a great tool so you can transform the knowledge your teachers teach into your own knowledge anytime, anywhere. This makes you proactive. Then, surely every time you ponder like that, more or less, you will learn something new. For me, physics and chemistry are the 2 subjects I have to think about the most and have many concepts that I have to ponder for several days to understand a little. Every time I understand a new concept, I feel very happy, so I especially enjoy contemplation to create depth of knowledge. After you understand the lesson, let's move on to the next method to remember the lesson. Before starting, how are your hearing, vision and learning experience? If you are a person who has a habit of learning by listening, the most effective way for you to grasp information is to listen directly to the person. Means of transmitting that information. If you have good imagination, the most effective learning method will be more visual, observing to learn or relying on illustrative tools. If you only remember best when information is described and demonstrated by actual events, then your learning style is based on experience. At this point, don't try to decipher which one way you belong, because However, not everyone knows how to maximize their benefits to remember all the knowledge that needs to be remembered. If you find the video useful, you can share it to let more people know and subscribe to the channel. Like and have any questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you for your attention. Hello and see you in the next video.